Thanks for waiting.
Greetings, friend.
Yes, what do you want? I can do that. Okie dokie. Be happy to.
Now, with him having had good map awareness thus far, and always going fast DK, I'm expecting that trend to continue.
What do you want?
So what I need to do now is a creep route that is fairly flexible and a mixture of aggressive, smart, and effective.
We need more gold.
If I go for this, he's gonna get this.
Something need doing.
He's gonna save the 333 for later, I think. Kill a critter somewhere here
We need
or
more
here,
gold.
and then he's gonna want to get those troll priests. Those priests are very important because they offer sentry ward, illusion, lightning shield, and so on. If I have a good start, I may still go for the caster strat, but if not, I'm gonna play more standard. This map has more congested creeps than Terran's stand. So whenever you fall behind, you get punished more heavily than normally. Because someone can quickly tag team lots of creeps next to one another. On TS, at least the corners favor a kind of split creep situation. As such, I hope I don't fall behind.
I thank you.
Maybe I get surrounded by a pig, a critter, an acolyte, and a scat. And a skeleton this game. That would be the day. Well, choose the way of least resistance, kill the critter.
We need more lumber.
What task is there?
My life for the Lord.
I am yours. Yes, I am hero and obey. Oh,
Master,
I am yours.
something we need more gold.
Oh, hey, what task is there? Yes, Lord.
Zug-zug.
Yes, I am hero and obey. Excellent choice. Ha! Hey, I am yours. What task is there?
What you want? Build there.
Oh,
Master,
yes, Lord.
what you want? Yes.
Thank you, Ter.
Oktar.
Oh,
Master,
yes, Lord.
yes. Zug-zug. Time for kill.
I thank
Oh.
you.
Under attack.
Excellent choice. I am hero and obey.
Master,
What task is there?
yes.
Yes, Lord. For the burning blade.
What you want? Where?
I am yours.
I
What do
thank
you
you.
want?
Thank you guys.
Swobu.
Oh,
I will read all the messages out after
what
the
task
series is concluded.
I am yours.
Yes. Swobu.
Yes,
Zug-zug.
Lord. Hey, I am hero and obey.
Swobu.
Excellent choice. Yes. Hey, ha!
Yes. Zug-zug.
What task is there?
What you want?
Oh, I am hero and obey. Hey, yes. Ha!
What you want?
Yes, Lord. Excellent
complete.
choice. I am hero and obey. Yes. Hey, I am hero and obey. Excellent choice.
Yes.
What task is there? I am hero and obey. Excellent choice. Yes, Lord.
Work complete. Yes. Master. Oktar.
I am yours. Hey. I am hero and obey.
Zug-zug. Yes.
Yes, Lord.
What you want? Swobu.
I
Oktar.
am yours. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Lord. Excellent choice.
Zug-zug. Swobu. Oktar.
I am yours.
What you want? Master.
Oh, what task is there?
Yes. We're under attack. What you want?
Yes, Lord. Yes. I am hero and
What do you want? Be happy to.
what task is there?
Master.
I am yours.
Zug-zug.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Swobu.
Lord. I am hero and obey. I am yours.
We're under
Excellent
attack.
choice.
Zug-zug.
Yes, Lord. Are you hear and obey?
What you want?
Oh,
Yes.
what task is there? Yes. Oh,
Master?
what task is there? Excellent.
Double.
I am yours. Are you hero and obey? Ah! Yes!
Master?
Yes, Lord.
Yes. We're under attack.
What task is there? Are you hero and obey? Excellent. I am yours. Are you hero and obey?
Master?
Yes, Lord. I am yours. Yes, Lord.
Order.
I am yours.
Yes. Double.
Command.
Done.
Oh, excellent choice. Are you hero and obey? What task is there?
We're complete.
What would you ask of me?
None
What
of
task is
power.
there?
Yes. We need more attack.
Haste to my blade!
We need more gold.
I am yours. What task is there? I am yours. Oh,
For my answer.
yes, Lord. I am yours.
What you want?
What task is there? Yes. Yes, Lord.
Complete.
Oh,
What you want?
yes, Lord. I am yours. What task is there? Are you hero and
You
obey?
seek me help?
Yes, Lord. Ha!
Yes, master. No power.
Oh, I am
What
yours.
you want?
What task is there? I am
Under
yours.
attack.
Yes, Lord.
What you want?
I am yours.
Yes.
Yes, Lord.
I stand. You seek me help?
I am yours. Yes, Lord.
And
What task is there? I am yours. What task is there? I am yours.
I hear the
Yes, Lord.
of spirits.
Oh,
What?
excellent choice. I am yours.
You seek me help?
What task is there?
Greater mana pot.
What?
I am yours.
You want?
Oh. Yes, Lord. I am yours. Yes.
Beware.
Excellent choice.
Can I
Yes,
help you?
Lord.
Tell
I
me
am
I
yours. Oh.
I
Yes,
stand
Lord.
ready.
What
You
task
seek me
is there?
help?
Yes,
Tell
Lord.
me I serve.
I
I hear the
What task is there? Oh. What
You
task
seek me
is there?
help? I stand ready.
Master, we're complete. Double. No power. We're complete. Someone call it up.
I stand ready.
Haste to my blade! Oh. Yes, Lord. Are you hero and
Just
obey?
as complete.
I am yours.
We need more gold.
Yes, Lord.
Research complete.
Tell me I serve. That be good choice,
Oh.
man.
Done.
I hear the summons. Right away.
What task is
We're
there?
under attack.
You seek
Not
me
enough
help?
mana.
That be good
Yes,
choice,
Lord.
man. Stand ready.
Oh.
I hear the summons.
I am yours.
Tell me I serve.
Yes, Lord.
Angels for Surgi.
Oh. I am yours. Yes. Excellent choice. What task is there? Yes, Lord. I am yours. Oh. Are you hero and obey?
I hear the
I am
summons.
yours.
You seek
Yes,
me
Lord.
help?
Excellent choice.
Tell me I serve.
Oh.
I
What
hear the
task is
summons.
there?
Done. Who you want me to kill?
Land.
Yes, Lord.
What you be
Oh.
Want me go?
I hear the summons.
What
Right
task
away.
is there? Yes, Lord.
You want me to?
Oh.
Good choice, man.
Yes! Are you hero and obey? What task is there?
You seek me
Yes,
help?
Lord. Hey, are you hero and obey? Ah!
Tell me I serve.
Yes, Lord.
We're under
I
attack.
am yours. Yes! What task is there? Hey, yes! Haste to my blade! Oh! Are you hero and obey? Hey, Excellent choice. Right. Yes. Excellent choice. Right. Yes. Yes, Lord.
You seek
Word
me
pass me there. Oh,
Tell me I serve.
word pass me there.
You seek me help?
I am yours.
I hear the summons.
Word pass me there.
Not enough
Yes,
mana.
Lord. Oh,
With him,
I am yours.
I hear the summons.
Oh,
What you command?
I am yours.
research complete.
Word pass me there. I am yours. Excellent choice.
I hear
Yes,
the
Lord.
summons.
We're under attack.
Word pass me there. Yes, Lord. I am
You
yours.
seek me
Yes.
help? What you
Oh,
Something to read.
word pass me there. Yes, Lord.
Right away.
I am
I
yours.
hear the summons.
Oh,
What
I am yours. Yes, Lord.
you seek me help?
Excellent choice.
I
Word
hear
pass me
the
there.
summons.
Yes, Lord. I am yours.
What you be craving?
That'll be good choice.
Oh,
We're
yes,
complete.
Lord.
Take your time.
I am
You
yours.
seek me help?
Oh, yes, Lord.
Right away.
Yes, yes, Lord.
Tell me I serve.
Oh,
What you want?
word pass me there.
I hear the summons.
Yes, Lord. Hey, I am yours.
Tell me I serve.
Research
Yes,
complete.
Lord.
You seek me
Word
help?
pass me there.
Bingo!
Oh,
Tell me I serve. Right away.
Someone call for the
word
doctor.
pass me
You seek
there.
me help?
Just
What
as
I am yours. Yes, Lord. Yes.
I hear the summons.
Oh,
Tell me
I am yours. Hey, are you
research
here?
complete.
Ah! Yes, Lord.
hear the
Word
summons.
pass me there.
Tell
Oh,
me I
word
serve.
pass me there. Excellent choice.
Hear the summons.
Yes,
Tell
Lord.
me I
Word
serve.
pass me there.
You seek me help?
I am yours.
Hear the
Oh,
summons. Tell me I
yes,
serve.
Lord. I am
You
yours.
seek me help? What
Word pass me there. Yes, Lord. Hey, excellent choice.
Tell me I serve.
Oh,
What you be craving?
I am
Tell
yours.
me I
We're
serve.
under attack.
Oh,
You seek me help? Tell me I
word
serve.
pass me there. I am yours.
What
Word pass me there. I am yours. Yes. Are you here and obey?
what you be craving?
Yes, Lord.
I hear the summons. Right
I
away.
am yours.
Spirits of the earth.
Word task is there. Excellent choice.
I stand ready.
Are you here and obey? Yes, Lord.
You seek me
I
help?
am yours. Word task is there.
You seek me help?
Yes, Lord.
I hear the
Word
summons.
task is there.
Tell me
I
I
am
serve.
yours.
What you seek me help?
Word task is there. Yes. Yes, Lord. Oh,
You seek me help?
word task is there.
What hear the summons.
I am yours.
Tell me I serve.
Oh, word task is there. Yes, Lord. Oh,
Hear the summons. Tell me I serve.
For my ancestors.
word
You
task
seek
is
me
there.
help?
Yes. Oh,
What
hey, excellent choice.
I hear the summons.
I am yours. Word task is there. I am yours. Oh,
Tell me I
I
serve.
am yours.
Right away.
Word task is there. Are you here and
What
obey? I am
you
yours.
seek me help?
Yes, Lord. Excellent
Call for the
choice.
doctor.
Yes. Oh,
Tell me I
We're
serve.
under attack.
word
What
task is there. Yes, Lord.
I stand ready.
Tell me I serve.
Man,
Yes, Lord.
I hear the summons.
done.
You
I
seek
am
me
yours.
help?
Anything you want.
Right away.
Yes, Lord. Hey. Yes, I am yours. Are you here and
What?
obey?
I'll
Hey.
grab them.
Are you here
Tell
and
me I
obey?
serve.
Oh, excellent choice. Yes. Yes. Are you here and obey? Excellent blade. Excellent choice. You want
Something needs doing?
I hear the summons.
Oh,
Tell me I
are you
say.
here and obey?
What do you want?
Yes, Lord. What task is there?
I hear the summons. That be good choice, man. Casting more.
Excellent choice. Yes, Lord. Ah!
You want to kill
What task is there?
my ancestors?
Oh,
What me do?
I am yours.
What you
Tell
want me
me
go?
I say.
We need more gold.
Are you here
I
and
hear
obey?
the
you want me go?
summons. That be good choice, man.
I am yours.
What? Casting
What task
more.
is there?
That be good choice, man.
Oh,
You
I am
want me
yours.
do?
What task is there?
What you want me go? We're under attack.
Yes, Lord.
What you want me
I
go?
am yours. What task is there? Yes.
You want?
You see me help?
I am yours. Take you my blade. Yes, Lord. I am
Hear
yours.
the summons.
Are you here?
Be ready.
More
What
gold.
task is there? Yes.
Tell me I say. Hear the summons.
Take you my blade.
You see me help?
What task is there? I am yours.
Wow. Yeah. Really good fight for him at the middle right. It's one of those situations where the map architecture doesn't position very well for me, which is why it's a little tougher on this map. But really good destroyer control. Against every other undead, I managed to get orb effect on destroyer and use headhunters to kill them. It happens over and over and over like this. I'm like undefeated with that strategy. Now 0-2 in these show matches against Happy. But I really needed to have this show match against Happy to see whether this style can work. I did really good at the middle left at the Ogre Lord. That's where it really shined. I mean, when you create a new strategy, you get these. First, you try it out. You come out with an idea or you find it accidentally. And then you practice it over and over and over. You try to refine it, but generally you can refine it after you lose. I've never lost with it yet. So the only refining I could do is after losing. Then, first game of the day against him, I lost with it. I had slow tier 3 and low level Blade Master. I fixed those things, and then I did better this game. Better Blade Master, better items, quicker Lightning Orb, and better Sentry Ward control. Maybe it's a better map for it as well than Turtle, but make those improvements. And then, got that really good fight at the left. Got the Ogre Lord. And then as soon as the fight started, I lacked a grip on it, but I also lacked a little bit Witch Doctor mana. In many other games, I got to higher Witch Doctor count earlier. Possibly should have just spammed more doctors at some point. Another thing that I've been wanting to do is adding a bestiary, 1 or 2 raiders, and a Kodo. Helps a lot in snaring destroyers. We will do some analysis here and there. Let's watch some replays. I already explained that 2019 Warcraft 3. It's a very long explanation. You can listen in the VOD.
Ready to work.
It's about 5 minutes ago. 5 to 10 minutes ago.
To work. Ready to work. Complete.
Well, I didn't always know where he was going to go, dumbest pilot.
Summoning is sweet.
This one started well. We got the Ogre and Circlet. Pretty much we know everything that happened here. These harasses with blades are not very effective. But if I don't do it, then he can just creep whatever. Like, as soon as I'm near and I leave, he can creep something. That kind of sucks. I had the same problem on multiple maps.
Work complete.
Summon
We're under attack.
Like here, I'm showing to slow him down. How much do I slow him down? A few steps. That's about it. He took the red spot, so did I, but I took a lot of damage. Had to go back and heal. That's why my creeping gets so slow. And then he simply gets 3-2. And this is his timing usually, right? 3-2, orb, DR. He chooses to get one more camp just because he doesn't have money for DR yet. And now he's ready. Great items on Lich, Wand of Mana Steel, DR. So this is textbook for him. And what I did doesn't measure up to that. So just kind of thinking, what other strategies that I could do that would be better off against this kind of style? Actually, when you look at what he has, full mana on everything, great items. This is not an attack Orc can ever hold. I don't think so. Which means you can't let it get to this point. It means you need different opener. Maybe Farseer opener, Farseer TC, Farseer Shadow, I don't know. I mean, Blade level 3 maybe with Shadow. But most of all, I think you can't let them creep this. Maybe. Ugh. One moment, please. Well, he's Burrow Crypt Fiend. Can't see him. I have no dust. Yeah, I'm too low life already on Blade in order to be able to do this. Like, this game was not even close. Like, I almost killed Lich, which was cool, I guess. But it's over now. On the red spot, he got Mantle of Intelligence, which is like a claws and a pendant of mana at the same time. Okay, this game. This is where we want to see how many shades he has.
A player's forces are under attack.
No, I don't think I could have done better on Turtle Rock Twizzle. Not with... I mean, nothing on Turtle went really against how I wanted it. Which means there would be something fundamentally wrong with how I wanted it.
Player's forces
in the past, when I usually beat Happy when we were both active, before 2010, when we were both active tournament players, I had games like Turtle Rock against him sometimes, similar-ish, but when I played strats like this, usually it was like a win, and he didn't deal with it well. I would get a lot of damage on the Necropolis, Halls of the Dead, and so on and so forth. But in this game, I barely killed a single building with Mass Raiders, which is so unusual, because Happy was very weak against it. I think StarCraft 2 did Happy a big favor in terms of multitasking and defending harass, and at the same time harassing as well. Because he was very... I play what I see on my screen kind of play.
are under attack.
And now he's got like a much more broad perspective. Yeah, I just said so, Crush. It's a big difference. Happy in 2019 is better than Happy in 2010. I'm probably a little worse. And most of all, my strats and builds aren't as updated sometimes, because I don't get to practice against some of the best players sometimes.
Sorry, I came from the time when Orc was bullying Undead with both Blade and FS. What has happened that Undead seem to have no problem with this anymore? Fast tech to skip through early game stages.
Yeah, that's part of it. We have seen a lot of game theory innovations from Chinese Undeads called 120, TED, WFC, among others. And they have revolutionized how it's played a bit, with a lot of skeleton scouting, skeleton creeping, fast tech, and triple hero, one destroyer based play. Before, you saw a lot of like bad undead styles, like Infinity Cryptfiends on tier 2, or Infinity Cryptfiends on tier 1, or you would see like Mass Destroyers or Abomination play, but like it's a lot cleaner now. Control and macro awareness is a little better from most of the top undeads, but there's also been some balance changes. Raiders and Snare cooldown is one that barely gets talked about. It didn't even happen in last year's patch, but earlier. It was after I quit pro gaming, but before I started streaming Warcraft. Before, Raider and Snare was 12-12. 12 duration and 12 cooldown. So as soon as Ensnare is gone, he can Ensnare again. Now it's like, what, 10-16? So he's got 6 seconds downtime. You get less focus fire chances on Cryptfiends. You can't perma Ensnare units and heroes as much. And I was a big user of Raiders back in the day. So a lot of times where I'm under pressure and I navigate towards mass Raider style, I find them to be less effective than they used to be. Another thing that changed is Acolytes. They had 0 armor, now they have 1. They have 10 life more, and they regenerate much faster while on Blight. As such, all Acolyte-based harass styles with Feral Spirits and Chain Lightning aren't as effective. So a lot of times where I might have been ahead in economy because I harassed Acolytes is not possible anymore, or not nearly as effective. Despite that, Undead had some nerfs as well. Destroyer 50 life less, Statue 50 life less, Orb of Corruption 1 armor debuff less. These are pretty significant nerfs. Also Frost Armor got a nerf. Pretty significant nerfs, but they're still basically pretty good. Same as Blade Master, -2 agility, but he's still good, right? And Feral Spirit and Chain Lightning actually got buffed. But what Undead also got buffed is expansion. These days, Undead use expansion as a tool far more often than before because it got buffed. Goldmine is better. Necropolis is Goldmine is cheaper. Necropolis is cheaper, and Goldmine costs a smaller shadow. If I had stayed here, I would have fought against Orb of Corruption and Ghouls. I know that. That's why I left. But look at this. How? Why? How? Look. He creeps this. He sees nothing here. He sees nothing here. Why does he not check my natural? Why check top left? Because I felt that it was so tricky what I did. Very far away from both of us. He did know I left through the left. So maybe he goes past the shop. And then he sees nothing there. He sees nothing there. And he just kind of, you know, makes sense of it. Yeah, he went to see where I went to creep. But how many undeads will find the expo there? I don't know. Not many. Yeah, maybe he feels like this is the trickiest one. He needs to scout it first. He can check natural later. And also if I'm creeping natural, he can like run right into me maybe. Like this. I don't know. Like maybe he thinks if the bases are close together, he can just like fight near. But if it's far, he needs to know now. I don't know. Okay, this is pretty bad already, losing that. But I think, okay, I make another one and I do hit and run. Okay, quick TP. After branching off 2 ghouls. And he also transitions to more ghouls. Stop script VNs. More ghouls. Here I had a chance to speed scroll away. Or kill. I wanted to at least kill. I figured I lose at most 1 raider. This was wrong. I lost 2. That's a lot of experience. Money lost for me as well. Our hero levels are actually pretty similar. Here, and then this. This one he sees it with destroyers. He comes from here and he flies over and he sees me. So that's coil steal. That's a mistake by me because I know when he's here he's gonna go north. So I should know that this destroyer is gonna see me. So I lose the creep and another raider and it starts to get pretty bad. At this point you can already say it's pretty much GG. But I have won games not exactly like this, but more similar to this in the past. I thought, okay, Feral Spirits kill Ghoul, Grunt kill Ghoul. I feel pretty good about this. Generally Undead has 3 ghouls, maybe 4 or 5.
Summoning.
Nope, he kept making them. He's not even making Spirit Towers. He don't afraid of anything. And then I saw, okay, you have no TP. And then he found me here. I'm like, seriously? Like, you expected this as well? I mean, of course, there's a pattern to my style, right? Like, I'm doing all the naturals. I'm doing every expansion. So sure. But like, immediately it felt like he had a shade already. Okay, then this. Now, if you're happy and you see the map, you get the pattern. This has been crept. He intentionally leaves 2 trappers, so I can't expand there. So he doesn't need to scout for a while. He's on 50 food, so he's really not concerned about anything. Remakes his altar. Brings a few extra ghouls. Leaves 1 ghoul here. Smart, why not? And then, there's only 1 base that I could have expanded. It's at the north. And I obliged him. Towers, not done. Boom. Ground. Okay, he's out of mana. It's kind of cool. For me. I start digging really deep into my pockets for another style. And then, the attack. Lose a bunch of peons. Lose towers. It's like he's invincible. He doesn't lose any health at all against Obsidian Statue. Like, so useless tower. Anyway, I got a creep camp in the meantime. I thought maybe it's okay. Problem is, I'm not expanding behind this. So he is doing real damage. And then he TPs into this. Didn't get a raider yet, but yes he does. Again a raider did, so that's bad. Now he's getting to level 4, 3.5. I tried to take another red spot, he sees it with the ghoul. Yeah, probably Dr. Thomas Miranda. I knew I was probably gonna lose a raider to creeps, but I couldn't look at it because I had to deal with the tower defense. And then this one, this is crazy. I ensnared this destroyer like 10 times.
I thank you.
Many times on his stream he has expressed that he's very glad whenever orcs go raiders. To him it's free win. He just goes ghoul frenzy and they move like speedlings in SC2 with Aura 2. He just then spams scroll of healing to keep them up.
Sure, yeah. And I heard that being said as well. I was aware that he thought so. But that's not gonna stop me from going for them if I believe in it. If that were true, then I could always say, I'm not afraid of Keeper. I'm so glad when people go Keeper fast expand. Like, you can't make someone stop his style, right? But sure, fair enough. Thanks for the info. Very interesting maybe for the viewers. I clicked this ensnare on this destroyer so many times. And every time he just, like the raider is like, yeah, and then over the woods again, and I couldn't find it. Couldn't freaking kill the destroyer. And he's got a lot of gold. I mean, he's not under any pressure. Ghoul on patrol, easy peasy. And he got a lot better from... I think SC2 really helped him. So now he expands, of course, why not? And then again. But there's nothing I can do about it, because I can't even get a single base. So GG. Many people on his stream were quite happy that you lost. Of course, they would be on his stream because they're supporting him. That's no problem. Many people here might be sad that I lost. That's okay. Pro gaming is always one is happy, one is sad. But I'm not sad because I wanted to play and knowing that probably I'm gonna lose, but I needed to see it. I needed to test my strat against someone because no other European undead could stop it.
We're under attack!
Look at this. Ba-bow.
Work complete.
And then this whole thing. I couldn't go anywhere. Like, he effectively had me imprisoned. If I leave, he takes it. I have nothing to creep around. Finally, I got it, but it took a long time. He's halfway to tier 3. And then, I think I should have sold the Wand of Mana Steel, because I don't have enough. He's level 2.5, 1.5, and 2.2, 1.5 as well. And then my creep route choice brings me... The problem is, losing that one grunt makes your shadow creep so slow. Shadow double grunt can't creep at all. So you need to keep your Blade Master with you. Then I have a chance to creep my own side of the map or his. I figure if I start with his, I can then fight on my own terms. But he was too fast. He gets here. Now, it's basically GG. If I'm watching someone's replay, I'm like, okay, it's over. Because you've been set back at literal 3 creep camps in a row, and you're leaving while he's taking your camp, and you can't do anything about it. I knew it was over now, most likely. Again, except if they mess up. He gets his level 3 triple ring of protection. I've seen him sell these before, but he kept them this time. He knows the only way he can lose is if his hero gets focused. He goes for a standard 4 Fiend to Statue, Dark Ranger, Destroyer upgrade. Keeps this. And then, yeah. He's 44 food, I'm 42, no orb with a half. Oh yeah, orb with half a war mill. It's over. Yeah. Losing that first grunt past QT, it's pretty GG. I mean, it comes down to things like these. I could circle it, could not steal the ring. This was a decent creep route. He went for the same one. And then he took the level 4, which maybe I should have liked to do as well, but I don't know where he is. And he's got an Acolyte there, that's smart. So what does he get from this? Talisman. He's really focusing on the main creeps. And then this one. He wanted to get here so fast. Got Scourge Bone Gems. Risk paid off. He then got his own level 4. And the thing is, if I went straight there, I could have been there on time. And this is my first biggest mistake. I have Clarity, I have got Blade 3. And where do I go? It takes a long time for me to get anywhere. And he's already done. I could have probably get to his expansion. He gets Ring of Protection plus 3. Yay! He's been getting a lot of rings. Nice for DK, not very nice for Lich. So this one, I'm still slowing down a lot, right? That's the cool thing about Blade 3. He's such a threat that it still slows him down even if you steal nothing. He did it pretty well there. So in every other game at this point, he was level 3 too. But on TS, he doesn't power creep as much because he wants to go for all these special camps. And also the slowdown from my fast level 3 blade. So most likely, if I want to play competitively in a best of 7 against him, I need to get better at this style than I did this game. And need to recreate such situations where you get the Blade 3 early and then you stop them from creeping. Now he's got his level 3 2.5. Very strangely he went for a 5th Crypt Fiend. Why? He normally never does that. 5th Crypt Fiend. I like how you pulled your blade back in the hope you would miss the dust. Yeah, and on ladder it would have worked, Bassi. I did it a few times, yeah. But he held. He held very well. So, 5th Crypt Fiend for Happy. And this is why he doesn't make it. Yeah, very unusual for Happy. It's like sleeping on the other side of the bed. So in this case, we have a situation that we haven't enjoyed in another game yet, because we've got a roughly equal army with level 3-3 versus 3-2-1, and we have a running expansion, so it's much better than every other game. Then I go for the highest mana statue, of course. No more statues is very good. You generally want to do fights like that. I don't think I've eaten a unit almost once against Happy. He won't let you. Might as well only use the Kodo as an aura.
Town is under siege.
He knew he had to go. Okay, so now, this is where I thought, okay, we've probably
Players'
won,
forces are under attack.
unless we mess up. Whenever an undead TPs out of a running expansion, and you're not over 50 food, you're gonna get a lot of economic advantage. This was kind of meh. No, this was very meh. Even when I speed scroll Kodos, it generally doesn't work because he will devour instantly. Yeah, the only way you'll eat is if you ensnare and then eat. But even then, he's gonna do body blocks and coil nova it and kill it. And even if you save it with heal wave can only happen once every now and then. So if you heal wave a Kodo that just took 900 damage from a focus fire, Cryptvian Destroyer, Lich Orb of Corruption, yes, you've saved it, but it's still walking towards him, so it's still gonna die. Or you pull it back, it's now half life, and you've healed it. That took a lot of unnecessary damage. Whereas if his fire had gone to a Grunt or Raider, well, it wouldn't have been as much damage, because Kodos have a worse armor type. They also have no, they don't take armor upgrades, so it gets worse and worse as the game goes on if they get attack upgrades. Oh yeah, what happened here? Shadow 4, we have food count 67, and he is 57. Some of my units aren't here yet though. And I'm quite Kodo heavy and arriving slightly in a snake. Look at how many skeletons he has. We did kill double banshees, so that was nice. And then dust. No dust, I mean. I resolved myself to keep making dust against him. Oh, I did eat here a banshee, by the way. He just keeps getting skeletons, so the fight really turns against you. You need to know when to leave or something. Still, we got pretty good kills, and if you just check, he's 47 and we're 55. He killed more though. He killed a lot more. I wonder if... Okay, probably I don't wonder. I think there's two things we could have done here. Blade, Staff of Telly, go for Acolytes, and run. There are no creeps left on the map, pretty much. So my creep jack, my attack here, with 3 Kodos trailing behind, didn't do much. And obviously we lost the fight, though we did reset his statue and banshee count, which is okay. I mean, I guess we both killed like 20 food off each other, so it's not the worst, but I'm in a bad spot. No dust, so I'm not 100% ready for this fight. This one burrow was so sick. I focus it, Raider is like, Hiya! And then the Grubby burrowed. Look at this. Boom! Surround. Stupid Raider. Okay, this was bad. Decided to expand behind this. He killed so many units during this that I dropped to 48 food, and he's now 46. This is where we could have lost it. Look, I was afraid he's going to surround Blade, so I dropped Staff of Telly. Looking back, I probably could have passed it to him directly. But there we go. Enjoy your Staff of Telly. I shouldn't have sold it. I should have dropped it, given it to the Shadow. Because Staff of Telly Blade harass could have been quite nice. $55 food. He is 61. So this was incredible that we didn't die here. I feel like he got a little distracted from the donation maybe, when he had to pause. This fight, maybe he wasn't as good. That's why you turn off TTS. I like this, the double headhunter on the Banshee was good. Do I still not have dust? When he tried to coil the blade and it survived with health stone, I was like, okay, very good for me now. I've also suddenly overtaken him 5 food. Is Robinson Gluehammer's brother? Yes. It was incredible that that Lich didn't die. I really thought it was gonna die. Probably it would have if I turned on Troll Berserkers earlier on. 69 food. He's 71. Wow. And then key is gonna be
A player's forces are under
Great
attack.
Hall, right? Do I go for Great Hall yet? No, I didn't dare to. At least I realized he's gonna expand again.
Greetings.
70 food. 72. I think it was a good idea to first go near 80 food and then expand. If we expanded too soon, we wouldn't be able to hold. Yeah, I already spent more time preparing for this match than any other match during my stream times so far, Samuria. I don't have as much time to practice as before, but I still did more than I usually do. I was happy with it, and yeah, I knew what he's gonna do, but I didn't want to psych myself out too much about it either. I just want to see how my strat and how I was going to be doing against him. And then Banshees. Last show match on Concealed Hill, was it? No, not Concealed Hill, another game. He also Banshee took my units. It's crazy. He took 2 Raiders and a Grunt or something. But I knew the Raider is not going to be in his control group or in his mind as much, so finally I got an eat with the Kodo. I knew it was going to be an easy target. Let's see. 59 food, 71. Oh my god, we're 59 and he's 71. The Shadow was key, Scourge Bone Chimes was key, the Shadow's Mana Pool was key, and the tower was pretty funny. Blade is not just any 5 food. And suddenly we killed a bunch of things. He's 65, we're 61. I'm producing a little bit, and he isn't. Oh yeah, he's a bit too. Took so long to kill any acolytes. Cartophiant here, Cartophiant there, Cartophiant everywhere. Was quite useful before here one as well. Blade can do that. He's now 74 food, double Banshees, and we're 73. 2 base each. It's pretty even, but hero levels are good. 5 Blade, 5 Shadow, 1 TC. He is 4, 4, 3. Why do you normally focus the Lich and not the DK? Well, I had clicked his DK earlier, and first of all against Blade Master, he always gets Death Pact. So if you see, he has Unholy Aura level 1, he has Death Pact. I knew he was gonna do it. So Lich can get healed, but so can DK. And he will do it. And he will morph a Destro to remove Hex. Secondly, I had clicked his DK and I saw Talisman of Evasion, Ring of Protection +3. So if I go for the focus on the DK, I'm gonna get cursed. He's gonna Frost Armor, silence something, and he's gonna Death Pact. He's gonna use Destroyer to remove Hex. And DK has 7 armor. Lich only has 5. Also 50% less health. So it's much more likely to get the Lich. Plus, Lich is a bigger damage threat. Dark Ranger actually has 7.8 armor. So she's not an easy focus either. My main goal must be Banshees. I must stomp them and hex them, I told myself. Otherwise he's gonna possess. It's very useful to get... Here I hexed her to slow her and just in case she had invul, because I didn't have time to check if she has invul. So I had to hex to confirm the kill.
A player's forces
I didn't do anything like showboat, like get Big Bad Voodoo or Blade Storm. They're really low value ults. Really low value ults. It's better just to get level 3 Windwalk, level 3 Hex. Well, I got like so many misses in a row here. But finally the Banshee died. I saw you dropping invul pot from TC to Blade before he died. Do you think he was not worth saving? Correct. He was already down to 150 life. And if I invulnerability the TC, yeah, I got one more stomp, but he's only level 1. Then, Blade, no invul. He's level 5. He's more worth saving. I think he was level 4 at that moment. This time I had dust. I now have 79 food and he's got 59 and I've got a grunt on his acolytes. The Headhunter is taking care of the Nerubian. I don't often send a grunt and double Headhunter to an expansion, but when I do it's extremely effective. Hey, thanks Jjo. Is Bladestorm really that low value or versus Happy? It's always lower. Okay, the rules of Bladestorm is you never have the mana, is 1. 2, it's never as good as you think, even when it's good. And 3, it gets worse the better they are.